Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video with Cyrus's reaction. This is going to be a video reacting to Boracity magazine. A lot of people suggested me in the comment section that we have to watch this video. It's been like 18 hours that this video is out, so I thought we can actually go and have a look at it and see what is going on. The title of the video is BTS is the best, not just in my opinion. And as we had it before, we watched Boracity magazine and it was fantastic. I'm sure this video is gonna be a rock video as well, and they're gonna do it. So without further explanation, let's dive in.
I became a fan of BTS in 2019. I knew about them a couple of years before, but I never really gave them a chance because I was not really into pop music. But when they released Boy With Love in 2019, I perceived some kind of counterculture image that really caught my attention. Of course, the most visible and shocking factors were their image, their performance, and their use of visual concepts. So I also got interested in K-pop as a whole because K-pop prioritizes these factors too. I researched a lot. I listened to hundreds of songs, and I still remember every big group and song from 2019, as well as the most popular K-pop songs ever. However, the more I discovered, the more I got bored of K-pop. So although I wanted to get deeply involved with K-pop in 2019, with time I only stayed with BTS and my usual rock and metal bands. This is only my personal experience, and I can name you a million reasons why I believe BTS is the best. Not just my favorite, not just the most popular, but the best.
One thing that made BTS a lot more different from the other bands was the originality of their ideas. You know, when you're actually making your own music and you have your own ideas, it's totally different from the bands that actually try to copy other people's idea. Today I was watching a video with my cousin. Actually, my cousin were watching it, and it was about another Korean band that surprisingly every member of that band, they kind of resembled BTS, and I was like, these days, you know, K-pop groups not only try to copy their ideas, they're trying their identities as well. That they copy their look, they copy their style, they copy the way that they're talking, and it was frustrating and surprising at the same time that how these days BTS, you know, made a big impact on how people actually watching K-pop. So the originality of BTS is the key for all the success that they have, of course. One of the key factors.
There is a popular conversation I see in every music fandom. Your favorite artist is not necessarily going to be the best artist. So if someone says that their favorite artist is XYZ, they are not necessarily arguing that this artist is the best. They are just saying that XYZ is their favorite. But I've noticed that in K-pop, this notion is not always present. To the contrary, many use favorite and best interchangeably. And I somehow came to the conclusion that this is because of BTS. Let me explain. K-pop is and has always been a niche industry. Not only it is niche because it has not truly entered the mainstream music industry, K-pop is also niche because almost every single group is created in a similar way, with performers that have the same range of skills, and that all target one specific audience. So in an industry where every group is so similar in concept to each other, wouldn't it make sense for the most unique group to eventually become the most popular one? My answer is of course yes. The most popular group coming from the K-pop industry is undoubtedly the most unique group. I would even go as far as to say that they are the best group. I know this is a big statement because this phrase is ultimately the root of pretty much every big K-pop conversation. Whether this is argued by K-pop fans on social media, music critics on magazine articles, entertainment experts in South Korea, or even politicians in South Korea, the discussion about BTS being not only the most popular, but the best is so prevalent in pop culture. But why is this the conversation? BTS is the best at what? At everything? That sounds kind of crazy, but that is ultimately where every conversation goes, and I think there's a reason behind that. Back to
That is the thing that happens when you have original ideas and you try to master it. So you know, there are always two things that makes you a group of music that are gonna stay in the history. Apart from being the first, you need to be the best. So if you're the first, everybody's gonna remember you. If you're the best, everybody's gonna remember you. And BTS has this factor that they were the first. They were the first at so many level, and they mastered that level themselves. So the way that actually they reached into social media, the way that they acted in front of the TV, their shows. So yes, they got the idea from other groups as well, but they didn't do it in those groups, structure. They just got the idea, the concept, but not the whole thing itself, and they made it in their own way. That made them a lot more different from the other K-pop group that these days we see in the TV.
My personal experience. It may be harsh to say that BTS ruined every other K-pop or Western group for me, but that's kind of what happened. Performance after performance, album after album, music video after music video. BTS proved to me, personally, that they have the best stage presence, the best composers, the best rap line, the best vocal line, the best dancers, the best music, that they are the most effective at transcending music genres and concepts, and even that they have the best story in the industry. These are, of course, just opinions.
Yeah.
Opinions that I realized I shared with millions of people. But the simple act of expressing this opinion can be seen as controversial or too self-centered or too uninformed in K-pop spaces. It must be that I don't know enough K-pop groups, or that I have not listened to the right small independent group from an unknown company, or that I'm too far gone in the BTS rabbit hole that I refuse to see how good every other group is. This train of thought is not exclusive to K-pop or pop. I've seen it closely in rock and metal fandoms, and I've also noticed it in many other genres of music or entertainment in general. Niche is unique, mainstream is basic. I know that admitting my favorite group is the most popular group is seen as boring, basic, like I only know the surface. And I get this to some point. BTS are the only ones in K-pop who have reached the level of mainstream, so a lot of their listeners really do only know the surface of K-pop. But my point is that BTS being the most popular doesn't take away from them being the best. In this specific case, I argue the complete opposite. BTS.
One thing about BTS that made everything different from other groups is that apart from having good, composers and songwriters, they were consistent with their music. Of course, if you go to other K-pop groups, you will find good music as well in there. You will find good music videos, but the consistency at being at the peak of your performance, that's something different. The level of professionality of BTS made them BTS. Of course, other artists have their own composers, and there will be good composers, there will be good songwriters, and out of the chance, of course, if you make hundreds of music, there will be a lot of good music in there, but being consistent with just only making good music is different. Being consistent at the rate of 60% of success, 70% of success, that's something that makes you different. Apart from the fact that there are groups that do only good music, one or two, and they're at the rate of 10% of success. It means that if they make 10 music, one of them is going to be good. But with BTS, if they make 10 music, 6 of them, 7 of them are going to be at the peak that everybody going to love. Not only BTS fan, but BTS non-fan, whoever is going to listen to that music. That's the difference.
BTS did not have the power to have an automatic successful debut. They did not have a super planned, effective marketing strategy. They did not have the budget to have high-quality music videos, but they still surpassed every other artist in the industry because they are genuinely the best. So why is the conversation always about BTS being the best in general? Why isn't the conversation about BTS being the best at singing, or the best at rap, or the best at dancing, or composing? I have a theory, and please don't get offended because there is nothing inherently wrong with what I'm about to say. But most K-pop groups don't go out of the box artistically because all of their artistic factors are given or instructed to them by their labels. In other words, the message of their music, the concepts of their performances, the exploration of their talents, and even the overall success of K-pop groups depend on their labels. The idols or performers can be very hardworking. They can practice their choreographies to perfection, but the general public won't become loyal fans of an amazing choreography to a mediocre song with average vocals at best. Not in the same.
As I said earlier, consistency at being at the peak of your performance all the time. Not only dancing, not only vocals, not only rap, but being consistent at all of those categories. That's what BTS have done.
Industry where BTS exists. You may also ask, what about the outliers? What about those groups with a good start of an artistic identity? Or the groups with extraordinary choreographies? Or the groups with amazing vocalists? Again, zero disrespect to these artists because it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but they often lack many other factors that can make them reach the artistic level of BTS. Instead, if they focus on the one thing they are the best at, target the right audiences, and find the right sound for their voices, they would most probably succeed in other industries. But in the K-pop and mainstream pop industries, the leading group is the multi-talented BTS, and labels just want to create another BTS, another multi-talented group, and that has failed hundreds of times because BTS is too good at being the best. The result is K-pop idols doing unbelievable choreographies to songs that are hard on the ears, amazing vocalists doing basic choreographies or even being forced to lip sync, and pretty faces having no other choice but to rap because they cannot sing. Some dancers are not good singers, some singers are not good dancers. Not every pretty face belongs to the stage, and all of this is okay. Just give these groups pleasant music people can actually listen to. Allow them to grow as artists and target the right audiences, because BTS's audience is too used to seeing all of these talents together, so K-pop groups feel very mediocre in comparison. You wouldn't ask Adele to dance because she doesn't dance. Dancing would cheap her performance. Actually, not dancing allows her to make people view her in another category than multi-talented artists like Beyoncé would be. People don't really compare Adele and Beyoncé because they are very different kinds of artists. So why do you keep setting your groups up for failure? BTS are the best artists in an industry that proclaims to celebrate multi-talented artists, yet this same industry was unable or too lazy to try creating the perfect group until BTS happened. One can argue that groups like BTS cannot be fabricated because the lack of fabrication was what made BTS become BTS. They became good at showcasing all of these talents together while at the same time being individually excellent at their own thing. They got to this point because they wanted to succeed so bad that they had no other choice than grow and grow artistically very fast. In their
one of the locks that BTS had from the very beginning, that each of those 7 guys had their own unique way of expressing themselves. Like, one of them were very good at dancing, one of them was very good at lyricsing and, songwriting, rapping. One of them were really good at singing. So these are the things that make that group a little bit different from the others. When you try to be good is so far from what you're really good at it. That's the whole difference that we have in here. When you're really good at it naturally, it's different from the fact that when you try to make someone to be something, forcing somebody to rap, it's a lot more different than you're good at it all yourself. Bear that in mind.
First year, and with almost no opportunities in the industry, they were already outperforming the biggest K-pop groups in the industry. And by outperforming, I don't mean numbers, of course. I mean that they actually performed better. People eventually noticed this, and this motivated BTS to grow beyond K-pop concepts. By their third year, BTS was getting the attention of audiences the K-pop industry thought would never listen. By their fifth year, BTS began their journey of becoming a supergroup, which is a group formed of amazing soloists. By their seventh year, they were already the biggest group in the music industry, targeting global audiences, composing very different genres of music, and even perfecting their identities as solo artists were things that came natural to them. They did not do what was given to them because they were not given a lot. So yes, BTS worked harder and more creatively. and more importantly, they never stopped growing. In an interview, Suga of BTS talked about the multiple analysis being done about their success. But what he noticed, and what I've also noticed in many of these analyses, is the theory that
I guess we
BTS
have
is
to
the
watch
biggest
this video
group
as well.
because they are simply the best. They have practiced and have grown artistically so much that no matter what kind of event, festival, award show, or TV show they are performing at, they know for a fact that they will be the best.
우리에 대한 이 분석이 정말 많았거든요. 방탄소년단 어떻게 잘 됐을까, BTS는 어떻게 잘 됐을까. 사실 무대 보시면 아시겠지만 잘해요. 정말 연습도 남들의 몇 배는 했다고 생각을 하고 지금도 마찬가지로
The level of
무대에
confidence. I
올라갔을
love
때
that.
우리가 제일 잘한다고 생각을 했어요 항상. 물론 이게 스포츠는 아니지만 그냥 무대 대 무대로 붙여봤을 때 질 것 같다는 생각이 한 번도 든 적. 그만큼 준비를 많이 했고 사실 저희가 처음부터 잘 된 건 아니었어가지고 정말 별의별 상황들을 다 겪어봤어요. 그러다 보니까 대처할 수 있는 경험도 많았었고 그로 인해 가지고 무대에서 더더욱 좀 멋있게 할 수 있지 않았을까. 여러 가지 경우의 수들을 다 경험해봤기 때문에 그 경험이 제 자신감의 근원이지 않나 생각이 듭니다.
I hope this video can explain my anecdote from the introduction. It's easy to say that I only think BTS is the best because I don't know many K-pop groups. I receive those comments all the time. But I actually believe I consider BTS as the best because I know all of these K-pop groups as well as Western boy bands. I know their go-to dance moves, personalities, and repetitive concepts. I notice how frequently they don't sing live, and I notice their lack of worry about their actual art. Of course, I'm not saying that they are not talented or hardworking. There's a lot of talented performers with all the abilities to grow artistically. But again,
it's not easy to do all those choreography and singing together. So when you're doing it, it means that you put the hard work into the whole thing. But as I said, it's all about the originality and having an original concept, ideas for doing it, simultaneously doing it at the peak of your performance. You know, it's like not only effort, but a pure idea.
don't make Adele dance. She doesn't need Beyonce's audience. The best at being BTS are BTS, and it's inevitable for the rest of K-pop groups to appear mediocre in comparison. In the meantime, I'll continue affirming BTS is the best because I believe they are. Yes, it's an opinion, but it shouldn't be a controversial one.
Interesting, very interesting video by Boracity. Why do I say Boracity? Damn. It's Boracity magazine. So sorry, Boracity magazine, for telling your name in the wrong way. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much for making this a beautiful video. Of course, we appreciate it a lot. This is another one, BTS or rock stars, a video essay. Maybe we're gonna watch this video later as well, but I have to thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my reaction and my commentary on that awesome video of Boracity magazine, and see you later.